Hello, my name is Tyler Maley and I'm your course instructor for Math 1100 Beginning Algebra. I wanted to make just a short video just to go over with you the Canvas site and also the course syllabus, so items that we typically would go over on the first day of class. So you can see here, this is our Canvas site. I am running two online sections as one section in Canvas. So you'll be mixed in with essentially about, I think, 51 students total. So I think that'll make it easier for yourself and for I, and allow for more interaction in the course material. So here's just the course homepage. I have a picture of a fractal here that I placed in there. I might change this from time to time just to create some interest in when coming into the course. And there's some information here that you can read about fractals, and also if you click on this link, there's about a 40-minute video on what fractals are and how they're used in the real world. It's a really good video if you are interested. So the first thing that you should do is go over to modules on the left here. And then so I have everything broken up into modules. I have a getting started module, resources module, then I break out each week into as a module. So if you click on the getting started agenda here under getting started module, and this will walk you through some things to go over before you start in the course. So number one, this is where I'm going to be posting this video that we're watching now. And then number two is a video that will walk you through how to link Canvas with my math lab. This is something new that I'm piloting this term. So if you've taken math class at Marion Tech before, this is going to feel a little different than previously. So we're only going to be using my math lab for homework and quizzes. So all other assignments will be completed in Canvas or paper, pencil, so offline assignments. And then 3 here, read over the course syllabus. So if you click this, we can take a look. So here's just some, common things that you need to read over about the course. So here's my name and my contact information. Email's really going to be one of the best ways to get a hold of me, but I am going to be in my office a lot this term, because I'm developing a lot of curriculum that's coming up, so I'll be in my office a lot. So with that being said, these are office hours that I set aside specifically for Math 1100 students. But if you need some additional time, feel free to contact me. We can set up an appointment. So you can read over, the course description and the textbook and things. So another resource that you're going to need in this class is How to Lie with Statistics by Darrell Huff. Now this is a book that was published in 1954. So it's considered open source now. It's not copyrighted. So I'll post that link in Canvas. And then just some information about calculator usage. I'm not real picky about what calculator that you use, except that it can't be a graphing calculator, so you can't have TI-83, 84, TI-89, Inspire. All those calculators are gonna would give you a clear advantage over someone who didn't have one, so I prohibit those in this course. But these are two cheap calculators that I recommend that could be useful. And then I listed here my Math Lab course ID for our course. So it's my last name, Maley, and then 19101. You'll need this later on when you link your Pearson and your Canvas account, and also if you ever need to contact like Pearson customer support, it's good to have this code because they're going to ask you for it. So I thought this would be a nice location to put that. And then here you can read over Major course learning objectives. So these are objectives that will be covered in the course. So I'll let you read over those. And then we get to the course outline. So just note here that EMG I'm identifying to be our Lane Martin Gay text, so the Pearson text. And then STAT, I'm letting that signify the How to Lie with Statistics book. And then I'm breaking up the instructional weeks to be Monday through Sunday, with the exception of finals week, because that would end on a Friday. But we're starting on a Monday, and I'm going to make all the course materials due Sunday at midnight for that week, so that I can give you time to plan accordingly. And then I listed here just the weeks and the dates, what chapters that we'll be working in, and then also what assignments are due that week. So you can read over that. And one thing to note is that the homework assignments, the quizzes, the exams, all assignments are going to have a hard deadline, so they're due on a specific day that I state. No exceptions unless there's an extreme situation going on, and I can approve those. So you just would need to communicate with me if something crazy is going on. But you guys, you need to get your work done on time. Note here, around week 6, we're going to have the first midterm. That will cover chapters 1 through 3. And then around week 11, we're having the second midterm. So that's going to cover chapters 4 and 5. And then during week 16, we'll have the final exam, which that will part of that will cover chapters 6 and 7. And then a part of it will be cumulative, so it'll cover chapters 1 through 7. So I thought it would be nice to break that up, since you haven't been tested over 6 and 7, and then having a cumulative part as well, as a typical final exam would. So you can read over items here in the syllabus. And then I listed here just available support service. So a schedule of the open math area times and tutors will be provided at the start of the term. I have that uploaded into Canvas. So that's the area that you can go in to receive math help without having a schedule. Another important thing here to note is online class attendance. So how online classes work is I give attendance by the week. So there's just one attendance setting, absent or you were present during that week. So how I'm going to assess that is I'm going to look in and see if you're completing the Canvas discussions and also the weekly assignments that need to be completed that week. And if you're doing that, you're staying on track, I'll mark you as present. But if you're not doing that, then you'll be marked as absent. And it's important that you're present during the weeks, because that can have a negative effect on financial aid. So in here I've listed the grading procedures, which is probably the main information that you want to receive. So we're going to have homework assignments. So these homework assignments will be assigned and collected in my math lab and Canvas as well. You can use your books, your notes, your calculator to complete homework. I won't read this to you word for word, but so homework due dates, like I was saying, have a hard deadline. So if you don't submit the homework by that date, then it will be it won't be counted. It'll be given a grade of 0, and then you can just move on to the next assignments. And I recommend that that you log into Canvas and my math lab on a daily basis, just to check and make sure that you're getting all of your assignments done, and also being aware of what's going on in the course. So I'll show you how to do that. So when you to log into my math lab, the way it's recommended is that you log into Canvas first, because we're going to link the two, so it's a single sign-on, and it will prevent any errors from happening if you do it the way that I'll show you. And then here we have listed quizzes, so there will be quizzes over each chapter. and those will also have a hard deadline, and they are timed. I give you 45 minutes per quiz to complete that, and you can use your calculator to complete. Now these will be taken on your own time. They won't be proctored. So now I'm recommending that you don't take the quizzes, or you do take the quizzes without using books or notes, because these are good practice for determining if you know the material enough for the exam. I give you 2 attempts on each quiz, and I'm going to average those 2 attempts to completing your final grade. So it's real important to take that first attempt very seriously, because if you take that first attempt and you get like a very low score, and then you go to take the quiz again, let's say you get a 50 the first time, and then you get an 80 the second time, right? So the average of those two would be right in the middle, right? So that would be 65. So you'd get a 65% then if you got a 50 and then an 80. So it's important to take it seriously, study for the quiz, and try your best. And then here I've listed, there's going to be 2 projects also in addition to the My Math Lab assignments that you're going to complete. So there's going to be a linear modeling project and a How to Lie with Statistics project. And along with the How to Lie with Statistics project, that's going to be pretty ongoing. You're going to first start by reading about a chapter in the book per week and completing questions that I give you to help kind of guide your reading and thinking. And then when it's appropriate, I'll introduce the final project to you, and you're going to be applying the information that we learn in this textbook to a real-world situation. And something that shouldn't really have to say, but I just want to make sure that you're really trying your best on these projects, and answering things carefully and thoughtfully. So if you're not using proper spelling and grammar, or you have incoherent or sloppy answers, then I'm going to have to deduct points from your score. So just try to turn in some quality work, something that you wouldn't be embarrassed to like turn into your supervisor. So then lastly we get to exams. So there's going to be 3 exams in the class like we looked at in the course timeline, 2 quizzes and 1 final exam. The 2 midterms are smaller exams, give you about hour and 20 minutes or so to complete those. But then the final exam would be an hour and 50 minutes. So the final is going to be worth a little more of your grade. It's a bigger test. But these are timed. They are proctored. So if you know that you can't complete the exam at Marion Technical College, like for example, I've had students on this online course that live in California or out of state. You're going to need to contact me immediately by email and let me know that we need to come up with an alternate testing location for you, and I'll work with you and we'll try to figure something out. So you can use calculator in exams, but no other materials will be permitted, so you can't have a formula sheet or cheat sheet or anything of that sort. And you're only allowed 1 attempt on each exam. And if you take the exam the first time and you don't do so well, or even if you do well but you want to better your score and understand more clearly why you missed some points, there will be opportunities for revisions, and you can see here the directions for that. So I'll probably give you maybe about a week or after the first midterm and the second midterm to do so. And so you have to write 2-3 sentences describing why you missed the answer and how you fix the answer, and so forth. So those will be 1 page per problem and clearly outlined. And then here's just listing, the final exam will include a section focused on the last chapters covered in the course, so chapters 6 and 7, and then also this comprehensive section that I had talked about before. And then here's the grading scale and the final grade criteria. So just a typical grading scale, and then the final grade criteria, homework will be 10%, quizzes 15%, the course projects 10%, midterm 1, midterm 2 each at 20%, and then lastly the final exam at 25% to total 100% of your grade. I just noted here that I will round to the nearest whole number when calculating your final course grade. So makeup and late policy. So as I said, there's no makeups for homework, assignments, quizzes, or projects. These are submitted online. You provide a large window of time in which to complete this work. And there are no makeups for the midterm and final exam. But if you do happen to miss an in-class exam due to an extreme emergency situation, so like for example, if your wife was pregnant while you're taking the course and she had a baby, or something that extreme situation, like I'm going to be reasonable and I can work with you on that. But if it's not something like an emergency, like I just overslept or I just didn't get the work done, that's not going to work. And you do need to contact me immediately if you do have an emergency situation. So then this next section here is the credit hour definition. So the important thing to think about in this course and in all courses is you can be expected to spend 9 hours per week in this online 16-week course. So that includes watching the lecture videos, completing the assignments, and reading the textbook. Anything that you need to do, you should be setting aside a minimum of 9 hours per week. And that's to be successful in the course. Some may take more, some may take a little less, but this is a pretty good average. And this is the average that we're asked to abide by the Ohio Department of Higher Education and the Higher Learning Commission. Then there's just some typical things that you would see on a syllabus that you can read through. These are pretty standard that we have to have in here. Academic misconduct. It's important that if when you're completing work that is purely your work, and if you're borrowing someone's ideas, that you're giving them credit for that. So make sure you read over this and just don't cheat. This is just a statement letting you know that I have to take attendance to abide by financial aid regulations. Then this section here is college graduate competencies. So the college graduate competencies are a way or a promise that we have with our employers and our graduates of areas and skills that all of our graduates will have, some common skills. So you can see some of these are in mathematics, problem solving, and technology, and we'll be hitting on those three in this course. Also, we're going to be working on some communications as well, and professionalism. So hit a number of those in the course. Then the last thing here is the Student Resource Center addendum, just giving you further information. So you can click on that, or I actually provided you with a link of the file here on number 4. So you can just click on that and read this over. Alright, so this goes over information about tutoring, if you have disabilities. So if you believe that you have a physical learning or mental disability that you think would make it difficult for you to be successful in this course or perform at your peak, make sure that you're in contact with me and also Mike Stuckey as soon as possible. This is something that we don't want to wait. You should really be doing this the first week of classes, and you should be doing this every term, because you're going to start with a new schedule, new instructors every term. There's also just some other information about drug, alcohol, mental health, academic advising, financial aid, and then this last page is emergency procedures that you can read over. Then here I just listed some links that you can look over, so tutoring information, math help websites, and then I'm having you complete a quiz after all this information, just to make sure that some of the key points are sticking with you, and that this quiz is timed. It's 20 minutes. I gave you 20 minutes, which should be plenty of time. It's only 10 questions total, and they're all like multiple choice, true, false type of questions. But I am asking that you get 100% on that quiz in order to move on into the material in the course. But you get 3 shots to do that, and that shouldn't be an issue. And if it is an issue, just contact me, and we can get that fixed for you. It's not really meant to be like a high pressure assessment. It's just making sure that you read over the syllabus and you're getting started on the right track. And then here I just have a statement where I posted a discussion board, so you can post questions and ask questions that really about anything. So rather be when do you have to have midterm 1 done by? Maybe that wasn't clear to you. You can feel free to post questions of that nature, or maybe of specific content, like, hey Tyler, I'm having trouble factoring, can you help me figure this out? And I can post some videos like this. I have some different technology that I can utilize to help with teaching that. I can give you some help. So this is a way, think of it as questions that you typically ask in front of the entire class, right? Because everyone will be able to see these posts. But if it's something more personal, like something that in a typical classroom, if you would want to pull me in the hall and talk to me about something on a personal basis, please email those to me. I just didn't want you to post anything personal or could be potentially embarrassing in this discussion. Alright, so we'll click back on modules. So you can see here, so after you click on the Getting Started agenda, then this Getting Started quiz will become available, and you can click on that. And then everything else will open up. So I have the resources, week 1, that will be published for you, and then I'll be working on the following weeks and get those published out to you as well. So under the resources, I just posted some links. So the first one is a file with How Live Statistics. So that's the PDF document of the How Live Statistics book that you'll be required to read in this course. It's really I think a fun book, and it's an easy read. It shouldn't be like super intimidating. The big thing is this book will really make you think about numbers that we see every day, and I think that'll be real beneficial. Connect the curriculum to the real world. And then here I just posted some links to get to my math lab. So this first link here, my math lab with Pearson eText Course Home, that link is probably the only one you really need. But you could also click on these to jump to specific parts. So for example, if you wanted to complete a homework assignment, you could just click on this, and it's just a little easier to get right to the homework assignments. Alright, and then so like week 1 agenda, so it's similar to the Getting Started agenda. It's just that's why I'm going to post every week, just to kind of walk you through the assignments that you need to have done by the end of that week, and then I might post some files or things underneath. But for the most part, I'm trying to limit it just to like 1 page per week, just to kind of have everything centralized. Alright. Well, if you have questions, feel free to post in the discussion board your questions, or send me an email at mailey@mtc.edu. I'll be glad to help you. Hope you have a good start of your term, and please let me know if you need anything at all. Thanks.